Okay, here we have a place called Galavia, and we have workplace injuries, reporting them. So we have employees. Here's my employee. And in general, employees are not reporting. There's been a decrease in reporting workplace injuries. So not reporting workplace injuries. So there's been a 16% decrease. Now, argument offers up an explanation, and that is that companies are offering incentives, safety incentive programs. Basically, if you don't report, hey employee, if you don't report that you've been injured on the workplace, then we'll give you $1,000. So that makes sense. If I win a prize for not reporting I'm hurt, then hey, I will maybe not get hurt. I mean, that of course becomes very litigious, who knows, but the idea is that these employees have incentives not to report it. Now, the thing with these questions, these argument types, is you want to make sure we home in on the conclusion. And it says, since, and this is at the very end, a workplace injury would disqualify an employee from such programs, some employees might be concealing injury. That's really the argument here. So we have a reason that rates have gone down because they're implying, or employees are providing these incentive programs, but most importantly, what they're doing is when there's injuries, they're concealing them, telling them not to report them. Don't say anything. So concealing injury. So we're going for most supports this. We want an explanation, or the answer should say, employers are concealing injuries to their employees. So let's take a look at A. In the last 5 years, there's been no decline in the number of workplace injuries leading to immediate admission to a hospital emergency room. Now, this is obviously, A represents a grave, a severe injury, immediate admission to the hospital. That is not something that you can conceal. Notice the last words there, when it is feasible to do so. Not feasible to do so. Rush to the hospital. Can't hide that. And therefore, those rates have not changed at all, but yet reports have gone down. So in the cases where you can conceal something when it is feasible to do so, employers are. And therefore that is our answer. Let's look at a couple of the others. B, employers generally have to pay financial compensation to employees who suffer work-related injuries. Well, you can see that they're giving them money here as well, or at least prizes, and so they're incentivizing it. And here we have the idea that employees who suffer work-related injuries, well, the employees wouldn't have a motive or an incentive to be quiet then if they're offered money. So B goes against this whole argument. C, many injuries that happen on the job are injuries that would be impossible to conceal and yet would not be severe enough to require any change either to the employee's work schedule or the employee's job responsibilities. So it's impossible to conceal would be, for instance, answer choice A, but it's saying, answer choice C is saying but people still have to show up to work so you can see who's injured. You can't hide things. And so therefore that doesn't match up because we want it that you can conceal, you can hide injuries. And then finally, D, a continuing shift in employment patterns has led to a decline in the percentage of the workforce that is employed in the dangerous occupations, and workplace injuries are likely. This doesn't address the argument. It's out of scope, out of context, and again, the answer is A.